Hello comrades. Today we're going to talk about pocket knives. The best pocket knife to carry is the one that suits your needs. Back in the day, I used to be a cook at a restaurant, and all I needed was just a nice sharp blade to open packages, mostly packages, boxes, and sometimes if I couldn't find a knife or was dirty or something, I'd use it to cut the food. But I always cleaned it, so don't worry. So anyways, the first knife I used was a Gerber Evo. But I don't have it now, I got rid of it because it broke. I bought two Gerber Evos. Both of them broke on me. Well, not completely, but like right here, the screw would come on loose. And I didn't have the tools to tighten it. And so I upgraded. And two knives I would recommend, or just any knife in general, if all you need is a blade, is the Kershaw knife. This here is a leak. I carried this for maybe 2 years, and I got my brother this, and it still works like a charm. Two ways to open it. You can use the thumb stud, or you can use the flipper. Now, when I was working at the restaurant, or I also work construction too, sometimes I have my hands full. And you may think, well, opening a knife with two hands is no big deal. But no, it really was a matter of convenience, because like I'm in a tight space, and I'm like the freezers in the restaurant I worked at, they were very small, in a tight space, and I'm holding up a box with one hand, and I need a fumble to open it. So it did come in handy. Having this flipper really does come in handy. I've sharpened this maybe 3 or 4 times within 2 years, so it keeps an edge very well. It's pretty light, very light, never really got in the way. It comes with a safety feature here, which is that's locked, so you can't open the blade, and this is open. I never really used that, to be honest with you. Never felt the need to. Even though it's pretty slick, I've never had trouble holding on to it. Just don't be an idiot with it, and you can hold on to it. I mean, it's got these nice serrations here, and just get a good solid grip. So, I've used this for 2 years, and I got my brother one of these, and he also loves this too. So, if you're looking for a good quality knife, I'd recommend the Kershaw Leak. Now, for heavier tasks, this is kind of the bigger brother. This is the Kershaw Shallop. It's a little bit heavier, and but it's pretty much same feel, smooth. There's no thumb stud though. Only way to open it's the flipper. So it's got the pocket clip, no safety. Both have the lanyards. That's the blade. It is a little bit thicker, so if you want to pry stuff with it, it's better, because as you can see, the tip here is pretty thin. You could probably snap it off pretty easily. With it being a bigger knife, the weight-wise you don't really notice it. They're both pretty light. This is extremely light. This is a little bit heavier, and so weight-wise it was fine. But when I put it in my pocket, because it's just longer and wider, I've caught, like, I keep my wallet in my right pocket, and I keep this in the right pocket, so this kind of snags a little bit sometimes, where this one, the Kershaw Leak, didn't. The one thing I don't like about this is, if you can look closely, the blade is kind of curved. Makes sharpening it a little bit more difficult, where this one's just flat. But this one would probably take more abuse on the blade just because it's thicker and heavier. So it depends on what you're going to use it for. I use it for everyday stuff, just opening letters, boxes, cutting some strings, stuff like that. And to be perfectly honest, this one does fine. This one is just as good as this one. There's really no reason for me to carry it. I just thought it looked cool, so I kind of got it. And it works fine too. But if you are looking for 2 quality knives, I would recommend both of these. Kershaw Leak, Kershaw shallot. And this one you can get around 40 bucks. Honestly, don't pay any more than that, otherwise you're kind of getting gypped. This one was a little bit more expensive. I think this one was went for like 60 bucks. But that's about it. And some people say like, oh, it's so smooth and it can slide out of your hand. To be honest with you, I've never had that problem. Just don't hold it like an idiot and it won't slide out of your hands. And it's got this nice like thumb finger thing, so it's really hard to slide out of your hand. Just don't hold it like an idiot. I mean, if you're swapping at things and trying to cut through a tree like a machete with it, and it slips and it cuts you, that's your own fault for being an idiot. Anyways, 2 good knives.